Alright, welcome back to another video you're watching right now on my YouTube channel, and today we're gonna talk a little bit more of what we ended up on the previous video, basically on what's happening in the current Honkai Star Rail meta right now. Is people who talking about on how to prioritize the characters that you need in the game and what you're gonna basically what people are looking to get. So Honkai Star Rail has very quite huge variety range of characters basically. So what you need to do is prioritizing the characters you need becomes a huge problem in the game basically. You want to get Hertha, you want to get their teammates, or you want to completely just stick around with Herthas with an free-to-play team, or you pull on characters like Castries and you're trying to get Castries, but you don't have enough to pull for Castries' teammates because it's locked behind a giant paywall, and Castries' teammates are like Maide, Tribi and Hyacinth and those kind of characters that is behind a giant paywall, and as a free-to-play player there's no way you can get 4 goals right in a single few patches back to back that's coming out with the banners. So it becomes a huge problem in Honkai Star Rail is the people that want to get the characters basically. And of course this is not a big issue for people who are free to play, also will get the prioritized on the DPS they need and then go back on using out their free to play 4-star characters that they would like to use without having a problem in the game at all. But for people who want to actually maximize their team and complete their premium team, it becomes a problem to get them in the same year. You would have to wait much longer for their rerun to come out, and by the time you get them on a rerun, it's not even that good because you might feel like, oh man, this character is not as good as anymore because it's been about 2 years and the meta has completely moved on. So Honkai Star Rail has these kind of problem that hasn't been addressed, and it's one of the biggest issue right now in the community as well, which players constantly wanna Hoyoverse to address these kind of problems when how to gap the patches between not having back-to-back of the DPS that you need, but having their teams just locked in the same patch or the patch before or patch after and stuff like that, without having a gap to allow people to save in order to get their teammates. And it's just not even Castries. There's another time where there's more characters coming out at the moment. It's like characters like Anaksha that's coming out, which people said he's the simulated universe and stuff like that is coming out. So if you guys didn't know, Anaksha is a win character. He's also another character that people are really anticipated on getting because of how good he is gonna be, and the hype for Anaksha is very huge at the moment. But the hype for the team for Anaksha is also sort of locked behind a giant paywall basically, and it's very hard for people to get basically, and it's just however is gonna happen is just extremely hard. So these are all some things is what people are really worried about, and on how to get the proper things to you need to get the characters you want to get in Honkai Star Rail. And the biggest problem in Honkai Star Rail is this basically, trying to get the teams you want. And Anaksha is a character as a DPS that heavily relies on these kind of being the DPS, and or I don't know if he's gonna be a support or not, but in other words, I think a lot of people are saying he's gonna be a DPS, but maybe he might be a sub DPS. This is something that as most people are finding it very hard as a free to play to consider, because they have so many characters back to back that's coming out in the game, and due in time you might even have a problem getting the right character you want to get because of issues where Hoyoverse are deliberately not willing to address the free-to-play gaps that needs to happen for free-to-play players to properly prioritize the teams they want to get without running into issues of how they want to focus on building the team. It means that you have 4-star characters, that means that's all you can do. You want to aim for a character like a DPS, then you want to pick whether you want to pull for their support later or you want to pull for the healer that's coming out for them later. And there's no way for you to get 4 5-star gold characters in order to maximize the premium team for that particular DPS you want to get. And if that's just the case is, then you have other characters that you might be interested, like Anaksha or Hertha, and their support and healers is also coming out through the same nation, along with the nation that Castris is coming out. And you might just feel like, oh man, I really want to get Castris, but an Anaksha is also coming out in the same nation that's 3 to 4 patches away. And what would I want to do apparently, because I can't pull for Anaksha's teammates or healers, because Castris is also someone that I've already pulled, and I want to try to get Castris' teammate done. And Castris' teammate is also locked behind giant paywall, and Anaksha's team is also locked behind giant paywall. Hertha's team is also locked behind giant paywall. Yeah. So Honkai Star Rail has these kind of issues that needs to be addressed deeply in time on how they want to like let people pick on what they need to do, with having more options for people to be more lenient on the teams they can build and stuff like that, because a lot of people have issues with it, and it's not my thing to address, but I just feel like people who wanna get what team they want, they just have to like just address themselves on who they want to choose to pull for the character they want to get. And that's the biggest problem in Honkai Star Rail, basically. Who you want to pull, who you want to get, who you want to maximize, and who you want to build. You can't be greedy to pull every character in the game. You can't be greedy to have a lot of characters. So Honkai Star Rail is a type of game that what happens is that there's 8 patches as usual as the other games that comes out with the Hoyoverse franchise. And what happens in Honkai Star Rail is every patch gets 2 new characters instead of 1 new character. So a total of 8 patches are there, and in total of 8 patches you get a total of 12 to 18 new characters, because a patch releases 2 new characters, so it becomes very hard for people to know what they want to get. They have to prioritize who they prefer, what they prefer, and what they like, and what element they like, what kind of character they like, what kit they prefer, and what kind of teams they want to build, and what kind of playstyle they prefer, and stuff like that. So these are some issues that the big time that most players find it frustrating to actually deal with, is having to know what, which, how, and where, and etc. on getting the right teams, right DPS, right healers, right supports to make one team work, or you want to make another team work and stuff like that. Of course, the main priority you want to do is focus on one team basically, and that should always be the main priority in everywhere you go in the gacha games. You prioritize on one team basically, then pulling for other characters here and there and trying to not be able to finish off the team basically. Yeah. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, and I will see you guys all on another stream another time. Bye bye.